We will not be re-entering a coalition agreement with the Liberal Party after this election. What we have got to a position is that the National Party will sit alone on a principled basis, on the basis of looking forward, not having to look back and to try and actually regain important policy pieces that change the lives of the people we represent. It's on a principled position of making sure that those hard-fought wins are maintained and respected, and we continue to look forward. We look forward to what else we can do as a party and as part of an opposition now that can shape the lives of regional Australians for the better. And those positions that we couldn't get comfort around nuclear being part of an energy grid into the future, about the Regional Australia Future Fund, a $20 billion fund paying a $1 billion dividend every year above and beyond, to change the lives of regional Australians, about employing and training some doctors, to actually filling in some potholes, to actually giving young families the hope of childcare. What we fight for every day. That's the principal position we took that we needed to have comfort around. It's around divestiture powers for supermarkets. We've been very principled about that, about the impact it's had on farmers, but the impact it's also had on the Australian consumer, whether they be in metro or they be in rural areas. This wasn't adding any extra regulatory burden. This was simply saying there was a consequence and a deterrent if they did the wrong thing. This was simply saying the culture needed to change. And this is also about reform to the universal service obligation, to extend it to how technology has evolved, to cover those over 1,500 mobile phone towers that were built under the coalition, because these are tools of trade that people in regional Australians need every day. In fact, their lives are at risk because we don't have the regulatory guide rail around that. And what we are saying is that what we secured in the former coalition are policies that should remain. We don't want to have to look back and to waste energy on trying to re-prosecute the case. We should be continuing to look forward. And so I had a respectful conversation with Sussan Ley this morning and sat down, made it very clear that we remain committed to having the door open, respecting the position that Sussan's been put in, that she is a leader that needs to rebuild the Liberal Party. They are going on a journey of rediscovery, and this will provide them the opportunity to do that without the spectre of the National Party imposing their will, but setting clear boundaries and parameters about what's important to us, about what we achieved as a coalition in the last 3 years. Building on that, not having to look back and to fight for things, but to actually focus on what's important. Changing the lives of people in regional Australia. Young kids that are in regional Australia, and the reason I got into politics was seeing them for generations leave regional Australia to go over the Great Dividing Range and go to capital cities and never come back. I got into politics to bring them home, to keep them home. And I don't want to have to go back and fight to get what we need to make sure I give the opportunity to the people we represent. And I respect the principled position that Sussan is in, and she needs to go through a process, and I want to give her that time. And we made it very clear to one another that I believe she is the leader that can help the Liberal Party reinvent itself and get it to a juncture that the Australian people want to see, a healthy opposition. And I gave her that commitment that I'll work every day with her to try and rebuild that relationship to the point where we can re-enter a coalition before the next election. But at this juncture, we're making a principled position about not what we're prepared to give up on, but to build on what we've achieved and to move forward.